partnerships that we're looking to form is really to kind of break that mold, and everything we're doing from a brand perspective, right? We call it, the Emax experience, right? We are the culture token. All these things, I think, are synonymous with just different ways of using your Emax within the community, within the ecosystem. So, I think I mentioned last night on the audio chat that, look, of course, on a traditional type investment or, whatever people, buy to just see it go up in value, of course, I think we are, in this case, making decisions and driving value, which, could result in price appreciating. And I'd expect that to happen, but but I think the bigger piece is you can actually use your email for that. I think let's call it almost like. Really, it's a currency, right? It's something that can be used at all these different places. And, if you buy Emax and yeah, that's great. The price goes up and everyone's happy about that. But at the end of the day, that thing can be used for so much more than just a means of buying and selling. It's something that actually has meaning within all these different spaces within the ecosystem that we're creating. And I think that's the exciting thing. So I think the Emax card is part of that overall vision. And again, we're building out a lot of different technology, POS systems to be used at establishments, whether it be a restaurant, a nightclub, with these various hospitality groups that we're working with. We're building out integration into to websites that allow you to actually make purchases online and do things. That kind of integrate right into the vendor site. And, I think the Emax card kind of fits right into that mold. It's something conceptually that we definitely want to do. We've talked about the exclusivity of the brand. We've talked about the comparison to, say, something like an Amex, right? That people in that situation almost pay for, right? Just to have access to that exclusivity. In this case, it's almost as if you're getting paid and you have all these collateral benefits from a rewards perspective that now result in the ability to transact all these different ways. Whether it be, like I said, the POS system, whether it be online integrated applications, or in this case, a card that is linked to a wallet that can be used, almost anywhere that we, kind of establish a relationship with. And I think to start, obviously we have a focus, on a lifestyle, on a culture, on all these different things that we're working on. But, who's to say we can't go in all these different directions with that? So I think that's the exciting thing. It's definitely, still open-ended as far as which direction we can go in the future. We know which direction we're going now, but the Emax card is definitely part of that future vision. Now, of course, anytime you talk about cryptocurrency being used in these type of transactions, there's a legal component to it. There's going to be a lot of compliance and red tape that needs to kind of be kind of vetted through. But these are all things that we're working on now. We're as everybody knows, we're 31 days old. We are exploring all different avenues of being able to kind of support our thesis of being able to transact across all these different means with all these different vendors. So that certainly is one avenue that we are exploring and placing a lot of emphasis more for future use. I don't think that's imminent. We have all these other avenues that we think are more achievable in the near and intermediate term, but it's definitely something we'd love to put in place. But like I said, just have to kind of work through some of that stuff.
Yeah, man. It's huge. I honestly sometimes don't think we give ourselves enough credit. Like you said, 31 days old. The fact that we're even not only talking about it, but the fact that things are in the works, conversations are being had, partnerships are being made. It's just it's wild. So huge news. So I guess just keep us updated on relevant updates as we move forward with the Emax card and all things related to that. I know it's a hot topic with the community. So here's a juicy one. And just want to remind everyone on the call, definitely stay on because we have the major announcement coming up shortly. But here's a juicy one. There's been a lot of news about Kim K, the Kim K post that recently happened. I mean, it was even featured in CNBC, which in and of itself is pretty impressive when you're a trending story on CNBC. So I guess what can you not say about it? Just certainly a prominent figure.
Yeah, look, I think anytime we work with a big time name and celebrity like that, I think our idea or our focus and what we're hoping to achieve with that is really just that crossover into the mainstream, right? And for a community, a token, a project only 31 days old, like us, to now all of a sudden be all over the CNBC network, all over CoinDesk, and getting all this kind of publicity and notoriety, and I think one of the things that we hear is, oh, this is negative. It seems like you guys are spending all this money to do these things, but I think what the overall market really needs to understand is that there are things that you pay for in life, or that you establish relationships for in life, that have collateral benefit at that time and down the road. So while it isn't always a dollar for dollar, I think cost benefit on certain relationships or on certain things that you're going to dedicate resources to, oftentimes these things have all these collateral benefits, such as the publicity, the notoriety, and all just having the name. I mean, if you go to Google right now and you type in EthereumMax, you'll see us all over. It's mentioned on the CNBC, on all these various platforms, and that has value, right? Because now, I think if you read some of those articles, it's interesting because the articles say, oh yeah, well, it's a new project, a new coin that's doing something with a celebrity, and they're paying X or Y. They don't know what we paid. They don't know what our arrangement is. They don't know what our relationship is. And that's not for them to know. And you know what? At some point, I'm pretty sure this is going to lead into us having an on-ramp to be able to speak with these larger publications, which otherwise, would probably be a little bit of a harder barrier to entry to get on. And now we can kind of show our vision, our we can tell our story. And I think that's important. And I think these relationships that we establish with these, megastars, I mean, 228 million followers is a lot of freaking people that see that. And it makes a lot of noise across, all the networks, all the publications. And I think that for us is the most important thing here, and not what the message that the publication is giving, because they don't know who we are. And a lot of these publications, like CoinDesk, for example, we looked at the actual article they wrote, and it's stating that they, admittedly did very little to no research on this. And they were talking about white paper and about the fact that we don't really necessarily have, they don't understand what our vision is. But guess what? Have them join this Telegram call. I'll tell them all about it. So you know what? When we get a chance as a team and as a community to tell our story, to tell to talk about our vision, to talk about our future, I'm pretty sure that we're going to be able to have a much clearer picture painted. And then from there, that, what is a perceived almost negative because, oh, well, these guys just paid somebody, they don't have anything behind it, turns into a positive, because it's like, wow, well, they got an outlet to actually tell their story, to showcase their vision. And that's the important thing to us. And I think that's the message that all of us as community members should focus on, that we now have a voice to kind of spread our message across a much wider kind of array or network of people that otherwise we wouldn't. So I look at this as a huge net positive. We're 4-week-old community, and we've already infiltrated such a massive network and market. I think it's just it just shows our strength, right? Like it's actually pretty remarkable. And I know you mentioned at the top 100,000 holders, 1 month old, constantly trending on all of DEX tools and all that different stuff. And now getting some of the larger exchanges kind of inviting us to be part of it because they know that the market really has demand for this. So, I think it's really a feat of epic proportions, if you ask me. And that's just my 2 cents. But I couldn't be happier. I think the community should be proud of themselves. I think everybody who's involved in this project in any capacity should be very proud of themselves. And I think using and utilizing the relationships that we can reach, like a Kim K, is an absolutely it's a very valuable tool as part of what we're trying to build here. We've always said from the start, we've come out as a bit of an unconventional kind of business plan where, there's a lot of people that, I get on calls with, and they're like, wow, you did all these things, you spent all this money up front, and you maybe established these relationships. Don't you think it was too premature? I don't think so at all, because you know what, we this community is built, on its own kind of set of rules, right? We're not copying another coin or another platform or another project. We are EthereumMax. Like, we're our own project. And the funny thing is, it seems like a lot of other coins out there and a lot of other communities out there seem to be want to copy our platform. And to me, imitation's always the best form of flattery. So again, not to talk about other projects or other groups or any of that, because again, we're in it for the community. It's not us versus them. It's not them versus us. Like, it's us as a community that want to help educate the whole crypto world. We want to help educate the space, and we want our holders and other community holders to understand what we're doing, and we want to understand what they're doing, because collaboration is what makes this world go. And I think the thing that people have to really understand about this whole project, we don't have short sights. We don't have, something where we're saying, hey, we're hoping we can kind of get something done, make a couple dollars in the short term and get out of here. Because, every single action that we've done, from the way we launched, from, all the pain we had to deal with in the fork, which again was done for good reasons, to put the most efficient and optimized tokenomics in place to have a long-lasting, sustainable project. The resources we're dedicating from a technology perspective, an infrastructure perspective, and the continued emphasis we have on relationships with vendors, influencers who are, some of the people that are going to help us spread our message. They're going to help us get involved and get some notoriety on these larger platforms that otherwise it's just hard to infiltrate. So I think the commitment is there, the vision is there, and we couldn't be more excited about, to get back in a very long-winded way of saying, we couldn't be more excited about working with people like him, just because we think it really helps spread our message, regardless of what anybody else says.
Yeah, I agree. And, the Kim thing aside, we see all these sports people and influencers, even like Dennis Rodman, just getting involved on themselves proactively. I think it just speaks volume about the power of Emax and the coin, and people wanting to get behind it. And even, the community should feel special as well, because you have these famous people, celebrities, sports stars who want to be part of that community. So essentially, we're all in this together, and there's, people who, at different education levels, different popularity levels, and just, but like Gio said, we're all in this together. It's all one unified front, which is, I'm personally extremely proud to be part of. So, we're super excited about that. Next, I got to make sure I set you up right for this, Gio. So this is the big announcement that we have been waiting for. I know, like you said, Emax has been working our butts off. For those of you who don't know behind the scenes, our team legitimately has been, nonstop for the last 30 days. And like sleep deprived, sleeping on random hours, just, dehydrated. We have just been, full front, like nothing has been stopping us, just making connections, updates and everything. And, with that, we continue to try to forge the right partnerships, the partnerships that make the most sense. It's going to get the community the biggest bang for the buck, and also, put everyone in the best spotlight possible. So with that, Giovanni, I know you have some big news. Let me set you up properly before you make the announcement. And it is off to you, Gio.
Oh boy, this is the moment I've been waiting for. So guys, like we've been saying, we've been hard at work these last handful of weeks after being hard at work the prior handful of weeks. and I know we've been a little bit quiet, and that was all kind of by design. We described what our kind of game plan was there, and I think it did help to kind of rid ourselves of some of the holders that we were looking to kind of rid ourselves of. But I think one of the big things we've been doing is really just working on expanding on that utility, on that use case, and on some of the stuff we did originally with vendors and with what we did with Floyd, and the ability to kind of have access and have our community have access to these big events and have incentive to want to use Emax. So I will say that we have proudly been able to ink a deal with Gervonta Davis. So Gervonta Davis is an amazing, absolutely amazing boxer. He's held multiple championship belts in the lightweight and super featherweight classes. He's a southpaw, has an amazing style. He's part of Mayweather Promotions and the TMT team. He's 24-0 with 23 knockouts. And he's, just absolutely ascending in the sport, and it's just a budding superstar, and we're so happy to be able to work with him and the Mayweather team, and we are able to, again, this is an expansion of our existing utility and use case. You're going to be able to purchase tickets. There's going to be an Emax experience. There's going to be all kinds of crazy throw-ins, giveaways along with these ticket purchases. You're going to have preferential pricing, and guess what? You're going to have access to nobody else does. So, this is really, really, really exciting news. June 26th, exclusive crypto currency accepted, and we have the whole block of floor seats at the fight. It's in Atlanta, where the Hawks play. So you're gonna, as of right now, the website is up, and you do have the ability to purchase. The website is davisbarriostickets.com, and this will all be posted all over all of our platforms. So anyone who missed this this conversation is gonna know it's gonna be all over the place. I think you're gonna have some special posts and announcements from some of the figures that help kind of make the deal happen on from a third party perspective. So that's very exciting for us. And I think what you're going to be able to start seeing here. So I will say upfront, all tickets are available immediately, and they're available via a special concierge service. That's kind of probably an interim solution for a handful of days. And what we're going to then unroll, likely at the end of this week, is going to be the full integration that we have with our application to purchase and have it be a full integrated solution to use a credit card, to use any sort of kind of USD kind of fiat, and be able to get Emax and be able to do it all in one specific transaction, as opposed to to some of the ways we were able to transact in the past. And I think this really shows how much we've grown from a technology perspective, and we're super excited about kind of unveiling all of that. And I think it's something that this announcement and this specific event really kind of shows how we're able to continue to expand on this utility, on these relationships. And not only are you going to have the ability to purchase tickets, we're going to have a bunch of links and everything to the site to kind of draw traffic to it. But you're going to see some of that Emax experience that we're talking about, and what we kind of think of as a VIP type experience, and other access to a bunch of different stuff, memorabilia and things like that you're going to be able to get with tickets, preferential pricing, like I said, but also, we're going to be, the main and exclusive sponsor of the event. You're going to see us very similar to what we did with Floyd. You're going to see us all over the place. I think there's going to be a ton of visibility and notoriety again from this, and it kind of goes and plays into our whole vision of really just, kind of thinking into more mainstream and getting that visibility across not just the crypto community, but the sports community, the mainstream community. It's going to, we'll be all over. I mean, this is a big fight, against Barrios, and obviously the Floyd relationship was awesome, and it was a real springboard for us to show the utility and show what we can do. And it worked, and the visibility and the sponsorship was something that we've been talking about with pretty much anybody we talk from a third party perspective. But now I think we can see that this application can be applied to actual big fights, professional fights that are kind of championship caliber fights, and something to kind of look out for in the future. We're going to continue to be able to expand upon this. We're going to continue to be able to push into other areas of the space, and it's just very exciting stuff for all of us, and it should be very exciting for you. I think it's something that really is continuing to showcase again how we can reach these type of events, and the type of relationships we have with some of our partners, that we're able to offer these preferential type packages and exclusive packages that really are going to reward community members for Emax. So we couldn't be more excited about that. Obviously, a bunch more details will be released on our website, on all of our social media platforms. There'll be links kind of pointing you to the website. And as I mentioned, in the next handful of days, we'll also have like the much more interim and long-term solution with some of those technology apps built in. But like I said, tickets are available now. Get there early. I think this is super exciting, and I'll tell you what, I cannot wait for the fight myself. So that's for now. More stuff to come, but Steve, kind of take it over from there.
Yeah, no, just huge news. I mean, both fighters are undefeated. Davis 24-0, Barrios 26-0, and it's the 2-division world champion. Nicknamed Tank to Davis. He's looking to become 3-division world champion, and it's going to be on Showtime pay-per-view as a headliner for these two undefeated super lightweights on Saturday, June 26th, and Emax will be there front and center. So we are very excited to be part of such a prominent event. So that was our big announcement. Now we're going to spend the next 15 minutes, give or take, to take some live Q&A. So if you guys can open up the chat so we can get that going. We actually have some questions from Discord as well, so we'll try to pull some of those simultaneously.
Excellent.
We got asked this last night. So when will the merch store be available? We have been working on that. It will not be up by next week. What I could promise you is a little bit of a more concrete update by next week in terms of the progress, what will be available for that. So we hear you, and we'll make sure we have something of substance next week in terms of an update. Okay, now we have a bunch of stuff pouring in. We got asked this last night. Giovanni probably answered this quickly. When are we going to be on Binance?
Are we going on Binance?
So I'm not sure if Gio's on mute again, but so we are, in talks with them, but there is no definitive answer or timeline. We don't want to in terms of timeline.
We can't discuss.
Yeah, so there's nothing that's set in stone. Like we've said in the past few calls, we have a team that's completely dedicated to signing up for exchanges. It's a very involved process. It was technical people, business people, finance people. So it's certainly a whole entire team involved. But we hear your community, and as we proved today with the MXC exchange announcement, it's always front and center of us. So each day, each week, it will become easier and easier to purchase Emax for sure. That is what I can tell you. Let's see what we have. A lot of exchange questions. There are questions about the 3x3. Gio, I know you're on, and Josh, I saw you're on as well. So I'm not sure if there's any more clarity we could provide to that.
Yeah, I mean, what I will say, I mean, I caught up with Josh earlier. Look, we wanted to get that 3x3x3 out, with the whole announcement of the burn and the wallets being locked, as if that wasn't enough excitement there.
I think you went on mute again. I don't know if that was intentional.
Calling Gio.
Yeah, no, I'm here. Do you hear me?
Now I can, yes.
Yeah, sorry, I keep getting muted, unfortunately. So I think what I was saying is we are, we're constantly looking at our ability to kind of really optimize that. We obviously wanted to get the 3x3x3 out. I think we're still refining parts of that, and I think, as Josh said a few weeks ago, that we had kind of given an initial timeline of a couple weeks from 2 Sundays ago. So we're kind of still within that time frame. It's not something we want to rush. There are a couple, what we think could be even more enhancements to that tokenomic that maybe we didn't previously disclose. So I think it's going to be a pleasant surprise when that does come out. It's definitely front and center from a priority perspective. I know Josh is kind of working tirelessly, with all of our devs and whatnot to kind of get that finished and fully vetted for us to be able to release. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But don't want to give out all the details yet until we kind of have our final kind of offering on it.
Yep, that's understandable. Here's a juicy one from Matt on Discord. So will there be opportunities for Emax holders to gain additional income via staking or lending? Should we expect any major changes with the release of Ethereum 2.0?
Sounds like it's time for me to jump in.
Yeah, let's go. Go ahead, Josh.
So let me really quickly present the paradigm that we're trying to solve for with that last 3%, which is the 3% return to liquidity. The simple summary is that just injecting Emax into the liquidity pair will have an adverse effect on the price, right? And so we kind of knew that early on, but we thought, hey, there's got to be 8, 9 different ways of going about this that should have some type of advantage. And so we pretty much we've hit it from every angle. And returning that 3% to liquidity is not going to benefit people, right? The goals that we have are to increase stability and provide an incentive for locking. So I thought, well, let's figure out if we can do some type of staking thing with this last 3%. So I wanted to have something out yesterday, but it's going to be a tomorrow thing instead. So I'm going to have an address out there where anybody with holdings can just send a cheap transaction, send $5 or something to this address as a vote, and we're going to present a staking schedule and get everybody's input on that, right? So then that kind of answers that first part of the question, which is what type of staking incentive are we going to provide for people to lock their holdings for a period of time. I think the minimum we're going to offer is a 6-month term. Maybe based on people's votes, we offer a 3-month term, but I think 6 months is going to be kind of the minimum. I have a working session tomorrow morning with some devs from a known exchange that have done this before. So they, I've been in chat, and so they validated that this is absolutely feasible and all of it can occur on chain. So I'm going to let them kind of guide that working session and go through their technicals and see, we do need to make some changes to some boilerplate code to account for the reflection. Nonetheless, that's something that's kind of been the stall here, because the other two are solved already. And so we don't want to push out, 3-3 blank when we know a couple of days later we're going to have that third 3. So I'd rather keep everybody in the loop and say, well, here's how you can vote on this. And I've already had probably 100-something threads with different individuals, and many of them representing, good holdings in the top 200. So I'm fairly certain we're going to have a massive commitment of capital and holdings to this staking as soon as we can clearly define that incentive, right? So look for that tomorrow. to be voted on once I have this working session and I determine which is feasible. And then particularly the second part of that question, Matt, is changes for layer 2. I think layer 2 changes are going to present more efficiency for anyone operating on EVM, right? So it's just going to translate to less expensive gas. There's going to be a lot of second order effects as a result of layer 2, and some of those people are pretty active in discussing in advance, and some of them are going to pick things that we don't discover as crypto, as a whole community in crypto until after it's live. So that's a much broader conversation. In the how it is most relevant to us is our utilities, particularly what we're looking to do is tokenize as NFTs some of these tickets. And that's something that we did.
I think you cut out, Josh.
I don't know what happened there with Josh, but look, I think what Josh is outlining here is simply that we have very exciting and more efficient news for that last 3. It's much more efficient than I think some of the things that we were initially thinking, and I think a lot of people have done with some of their tokenomics. So I think we're very excited for that. That is definitely to come. So again, we couldn't be more excited about some of the business side and some of the things that we're doing. From an initiative perspective, we can't wait till this stuff actually rolls out and people kind of get in there and really start using it. And I think we're all excited as a community, and we're excited as a team here. So I think it's a night to celebrate that, and let's end with that note for now, Steve.
If you can, let me just ask one more question, just because I actually emailed you about this today. It should be a really quick one for you. What if somebody wants to actually take Emax for their business? Like, what should be the next steps? Is that possible, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, I think we need to figure out a protocol. There is a whole kind of ecosystem aspect of this, and we need to figure out how that all works within the ecosystem. And again, if it's somebody that wants to pay their friend for a haircut in Emax, I'm all for that. I just think we should think as a community the best way to do this and make sure everything remains in the ecosystem and things like that. I think something that Josh has said in the past, we have a solution to remove some of those transaction fees, from these actual transfers for these vendor relationships. So if people are doing that outside of that, it's probably going to be pretty punitive to get levied a 9% fee on the transaction. So it's definitely something that has to be kind of thought about and vetted out. And I think there just needs to be a protocol. Not saying it's not possible. Of course, anything is possible. That's kind of our motto here. But before people start doing this, especially on a larger scale, I think we should, kind of be in touch as a community and as a leadership group to make sure that it's being done in the most efficient manner. Steve, you're still there? Well, look, I
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, you're good. We hear you, Steve.
Okay. So something that we mentioned with the community last time, we just want to kind of keep front and center, is that if anyone within the community has suggested contacts who are big in the crypto community space, whether that's a podcast, YouTube, influencer, online, whatever it is, if you could make a contact to Emax, as we would like to deepen our relationship within the community. With that, I think we have one last community member who wanted to say something. Gee, I don't know if you see Jonah's name on here. I know we're trying to wind it down. There's just 1,000 people in here.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Hi, how are you? My name is Jonah.
Hey, Jonah.
I have literally been raising my hand on this platform for the past 4 days, waiting to get called. Thank you so much for calling on me.
You are called upon, sir. The stage is yours.
All right, I got a couple of thoughts I'd like to share. So first of all, a lot of friends and I bought Emax, and we saw it shoot up all the way up. Then it went down, but what we love is the last, I'd say, week, we see that even when people were trying to sell out and things were happening with the coin, it actually stayed, I'd say, between 15 and 17 conservatively. So what I want to do is I want to buy a lot more coins now, and I challenge everybody on this call, whatever people buy in the next 5 minutes, I'm willing to match on a buy right now. And the reason I want to do it is I want people to buy so we all make some fucking money.
That's amazing news, Jonah. That's baller. So you heard it, community. I just want to make sure we got this right.
I'm telling you one thing. I don't know you. This isn't a setup. I don't know what you look like. All I know is I've heard Gio talk, and I think he's awesome at what he's created in the sales. The other guy, Josh, spoke the other night. He seems like a genius. He'll be the next Einstein. I leave the speaking to Gio and you, but he definitely is good at what he does. I love this. We're all in. And I'm telling you right now, whoever buys, it's 9:52 now. Whoever buys in the next 3 minutes, you guys keep track of the total, and then I will buy the same amount. And the reason I'm doing it is I believe in the coin. I want the coin to go up right now, and I don't want people keeping it down. Let's get it over 20 right now. I will literally buy what everybody buys in the next few minutes.
All right, community, you heard this. This is a huge challenge. This is awesome. This is a great live call. So,
and number two, I was at the Mayweather fight. I saw it all. All this cute stuff with the advertisements and the celebrities and all, that don't mean nothing. You know what means something? When people buy and people hold. When we buy, we make money. When it's on someone shorts, I don't make no money. We're going to see the business people buying. The founders are going up. The biggest test I had for this coin is I sold about 150,000 today just to see what would happen. And guess what? Right afterwards, people started buying. And the reason was people believe in the coin. I realized I'm not as powerful as I think. And that's what spoke to me. I'm not one of these tech guys like this guy, Josh, or whatever his name is. I don't understand a damn word that comes out of his mouth. But I know one thing. You guys have a good team. We're making money. I sold a lot. It dipped and it went right back up. So I'm challenging everybody now in the next 3 minutes, starting right now. Whoever buys, I'm going to match that amount right now at the end. Because I want these things to go up.
You extended a minute just so we clarify. So is it going to be from 9:52 to 9:56?
It's going to be from 9:54 on my iPhone to 9:57. That's it.
All right,
Let's see what happens. And by the way, if you pull this off, it shows you that you have a real fan base here. You have real believers. It shows you that we're all behind you. And now we're going to see who's real and who's just on this chat because they're bored at night.
Awesome, John. Thanks so much for that. I appreciate it.
Don't hang up on me. Keep me on. I want to see this right now. Let's go.
Well, we are all on. So we're going to start to wind this down. But you heard the community. He's going to match whatever. So I mean, I challenge the community to put some baller stuff out there. So if you were waiting for a buying moment, I say that moment is probably now. Again, not financial advice. We're just trying to have Jonah match.
This is not financial advice either. I want to see who's real now and who's fake. Let's see what's going on here, boys. We got 3 minutes starting now. No limit.
All right, we have one coming for 4 ETH, which is great.
That's nothing. That's Mickey Mouse. I should probably double what everyone's doing here. I mean, it's a joke.
You won't.
I like this game.
We just had a guy for 5 ETH.
Josh, I like what you said. See, that's how you sell, Josh. That's how we do this. When you burn coins, this shit should have flown up. Keep me on for sales, guys. Hire me. This thing's got to shoot up right now. That's all we got? It's at 17. Let's go to 20.
They are slowly pouring in. We got one. We got.
I got my friend sitting with me right now. He is going to match everybody. I'm not going to say who it is. He's ready to do it. He's sitting right next to me. We got 2 more minutes.
We're going to double match it.
No, he's the match. We're at 18,
He's the
boys.
match.
Went from 16 to 18. Show me 20. Show me 20. We're all going to do this. And guys, hold on to it. Just hold on to it a little bit. Nothing's going to happen. We got to make money. One more minute. I'm doing another minute and a half. We're at 18 and a half.
18:35.
10 followed by 17. Those are some numbers I like.
Guys, here's the bottom line. This shows you that there's real people who want to buy. This shows you that everybody who signs on here, you have two people. You got people who are bored, who have nothing to do at night. They should sign off, please. And then you have guys who are actually here because they believe in the coin and they want to believe in a dream like me. They want to end up in a place where they make money, there's longevity, just like me. We just want to see good stuff going on here. I don't want to hear about the new Trekonomics or whatever the hell you call it, tokenomics, 3%. I don't know what this means. I know one thing. I want to see you have a fan base, okay? At the end of the day, I don't know what's going to happen with the utility of this coin, but I know one thing. You got real people, bro. Look what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something important about the community, though, is that we are such a diverse client base. Hold on.
Yo, stop talking. You're at 19, Steve. Listen, nobody wants to hear all these one-liners on. Nobody wants to hear these lines like, hey, I'm a game show host, thank you, and this means this, and this means that. We want to make money. I don't know the moon, I don't know the stars, I know one thing. One more minute, I'm going an extra bonus because we're at 20. And I want to tell you something else. This is what people want, guys. They want to feel that we're making money. People want to feel like a family. This is what you should be doing every night. Take 10 minutes, find a matcher. I'll find you a guy once a week, and let's get this thing back up. All the people who ended up selling the night of the fight, people who were selling right before, all the haters, we're juicing them out. It's all good. We're at 19 and a half. One more minute.
We are officially there at 9:57. So thank you very much, Jonah. We appreciate that. So an important part about the community is that you're right. It is so diverse. So in terms of the tokenomics, the community, the all-in mentality, from start to finish, all of it matters. And the thing about being part of a community is that some things matter more to others, whereas they don't matter to other people. And that's part of being part of the family. Some you're gonna like, some you're not gonna like. But I think what you did here is very commendable. We see buys coming in frequently. It's amazing. So we'll make sure that we get you that final number, and we'll post it to our social media channel just to show that the leadership and support that we have behind this. So with that, I want to thank everybody very much for their time. We appreciate the massive support. We cannot be more proud of being part of such a strong community. Emax by far is the best. So we thank you very much, and we will make sure to let the community know when we have additional updates moving forward, and we'll be doing these calls on a weekly basis. So with that, thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. Good night, and we'll speak to you shortly.